Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for braving the elements to come and be present with us here in Sangha, and also a big welcome to all of our friends who are at home or perhaps even abroad. And welcome to Temple Buddhist Center's Sunday meditation service. My name is Victor, and I'm honored to be of service this morning. We hope that our service finds you all happy and healthy and joyous, but please know that if you are struggling in any way, we hope that our service this morning can be a source of spiritual nourishment or a source of refuge for you. We're excited to be able to celebrate our services in person once again, and we want to do so as safely as possible. Masks are recommended, but respect and tolerance are encouraged, and we appreciate your part in helping to keep our whole Sangha safe and healthy. Let's begin this morning with a few conscious breaths, taking a few moments to ground ourselves, to experience the body, and to breathe together. A conscious breath is where you seal the mouth, breathe deeply through the nose, hold that breath for a moment, and then release slowly so that the exhale is longer than the inhale. Let's begin. Holding that breath for a moment and releasing slowly. And as you release, just checking in with the body, noticing what is most alive or most present right here, right now, and embracing the truth of this moment. And a second conscious breath together. Holding for a moment, feeling the fullness of the lungs. Relaxing the shoulders and releasing. And as you release, allowing yourself to also release that connection to the energy of going and doing, striving, efforting. It's not good, bad, right, or wrong, but it can be a wonderful way to balance our lives by at least spending a little bit of time cultivating the energy of being instead of the energy of doing. And a third conscious breath together. Holding that breath for a moment. And releasing slowly. And as you release, allowing into your awareness the present moment. There's just this. And again, here at Temple Buddhist Center, we like to begin our services with a little bit of chanting. Chanting is an integral part of every tradition. Chanting is not about being a singer. It's about having a voice. Chanting is about a deeply devotional expression from within to without, around that which is most sacred for you. And so our chant today is Buddham Saranam Gacchami, Sangham Saranam Gacchami, Dharmam Saranam Gacchami. And so we will repeat each line 3 times. This is also the chant version of the prayer of refuge, of the 3 jewels. And so a conscious breath. And we'll invite Rochelle to tone us in. Together. Buddham saranam gacchami. Buddham saranam gacchami. Buddham saranam gacchami. Sangam. Sangam saranam gacchami. Sangam saranam gacchami. Sangam saranam gacchami. Dharmam. Dharmam saranam gacchami. Dharmam saranam gacchami. Dharmam saranam gacchami. Once more. Dharmam saranam gacchami. Here at Temple Buddhist Center, we practice Western Buddhism, which is a blend of Eastern philosophy and Western psychology. And this new and exciting form of spirituality is dynamic, it's growing, it's changing, it's transforming with us. It is inclusive, it is dynamic and active, and it focuses on core Buddhist insights, as well as mindfulness, meditation, and their practical applications in our daily lives. Our goal here is not to get everyone to agree on a specific lineage or philosophy or sect of Buddhism, but rather it is on a shared experience of mindfulness, oneness, and love. Whether we are chanting together, meditating, or sharing from the heart, we respect that you will participate at a level that feels comfortable for you. We take refuge in the three jewels and acknowledge these core values as expressions of the awakened mind, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. We value awareness of our Buddha nature, as well as the Buddha nature of all beings, bringing a fresh new perspective to each and every precious moment. And the second jewel, the Dharma, the truth teachings that release us from fear, from delusion, and help us to realize the true nature of who we are. And the third jewel, Sangha, or spiritual community, where we come together to practice the teachings and to help each other along every step of the path. So let's take a moment now to silence any cell phones or electronic devices. If you're at home, anything you need to do to help prepare your environment for a time in meditation and contemplation. We will begin with the prayer of refuge. And we will recite this 3 times together. Together? In Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, we go for refuge until fully awakened through the power of generosity, ethics, patience, enthusiastic effort, concentration, and wisdom. For the sake of all beings, may we realize and demonstrate our innate goodness. In Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, we go for refuge until fully awakened through the power of generosity, ethics, patience, enthusiastic effort, concentration, and wisdom. For the sake of all beings, may we realize and demonstrate our innate goodness. In Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, we go for refuge until fully awakened through the power of generosity, ethics, patience, enthusiastic effort, concentration, and wisdom. For the sake of all beings, may we realize and demonstrate our innate goodness. And so as we prepare now for a time in meditation, if you have an extensive practice, then we invite you to practice in a way that is fitting for you this morning. If by chance you are new to meditation, then we're going to begin with a dedication of intention. We will awaken the bell 3 times for the 3 jewels. And then I will lead us in a brief guided meditation that's designed to assist you in moving into the stillness. We will spend approximately 10 to 12 minutes this morning connecting with each other in consciousness, spending time in noble silence together. Afterwards, you will hear a return bell, and then it will be time for our special presentation today. Today is an auspicious and a special day for our service as we celebrate the life and the works of Martin Luther King Jr. And today's presentation is a special meditation that is presented by members of the Mindful Heart Meditation Sangha, which meets here at Temple Buddhist Center every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. So we're very honored to have our guests with us today, and they will be leading us in a very special meditation called Touching the Earth. And they will explain a little bit more about that. So until then, let's take a conscious breath together. And releasing. Body, speech, and mind in perfect oneness. I send my heart along with the sound of the bell. May the hearers awaken from forgetfulness, transcend the path of anxiety and sorrow, and realize the true nature of who they are. And so as the bell decays, helping us to show the way into the stillness, if you need to take another conscious breath or perhaps adjust your posture, whatever is necessary to help the body become more gentle, more easy, more light. Bringing our awareness to the rise and the fall of the tummy with each in-breath and out-breath. As we remain connected to the breath, the body is gentle and spacious. We can bring our awareness now to awareness itself, noticing when the mind becomes distracted by a sound, When you realize this, we simply use that moment of recognition as a springboard to return to the breath, to return to this moment. You may become aware that the mind is focused on a sensation like an itch or an ache. When this occurs, again, we simply, without judgment and story, return to the breath. The breath is always in the present moment, and so is therefore a good teacher. You may become aware that the mind has been distracted by a thought. Like the others, thoughts just come and go. They rise and they fall, completely unbidden. When you notice that the mind has been distracted by a thought, this is not an opportunity to punish yourself or for regret. This is a celebration of awakening as we return to the breath and we return to the present moment. 100,000 times is not too many times to come back to the breath. And so, with the body gentle, spacious, and light, the mind is clear yet receptive to whatever arises, and the heart is open. We can move more deeply into our meditation, into stillness. I close my eyes and I see clearly. I stop trying to listen and I hear truth. I am silent, yet my heart sings. I seek no contact and find union. I am still and move forward. I am gentle and need no strength. I am humble and remain whole, returning again and again to the breath, returning again and again home.
This meditation is an adaptation of a podcast of the practice called Touching the Earth, developed by Vietnamese Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh. Martin Luther King Jr., whose national holiday we celebrate this weekend, nominated Thich Nhat Hanh for the Nobel Peace Prize in January of 1967.
It is a practice that helps us look deeply and contemplate the concept of not self. Most of our suffering comes from our superficial view of ourselves. We think we have a self that is separate from others. Our skin limits our body. We have a name. Maybe we have a job, and we think we are very different from even our brother or sister or neighbor. When we look deeply, we see that our self is deeply linked with many elements that are outside of ourselves. There are many things we depend on, including the air we breathe, the sun, the earth, animals, plants, and minerals, and many generations of ancestors. The practice of touching the earth is to return to the earth, to our roots, to our ancestors, and to recognize that we are not alone, but connected to a whole stream of spiritual and blood ancestors. We are their continuation, and with them will continue in future generations. When we touch the earth, we breathe in all the strength and stability of the earth and breathe out our suffering, our feelings of anger, hatred, fear, inadequacy, and grief. Practicing touching the earth, we can release a lot of our suffering and feelings of alienation and reconcile with our ancestors, parents, children, or friends.
In the meditation, we consider our family of origin, the flesh, blood, and DNA we received from our biological parents. Next, we acknowledge our spiritual family, those beings whose lives and teachings have touched us and transformed the world. Finally, we reflect on the diversity of our inheritance as Americans. We honor those who built this country and who have made our lives easy and comfortable through their effort. We touch our feet to the ground, knowing that the earth provides stability and sustenance to us and to everyone on the planet. It helps us see the close connection between ourselves and others and how we share each other's happiness and suffering. It reminds us that we are not alone, but are interconnected with the whole stream of biological, spiritual, and cultural ancestors. During the meditation, with as much compassion for yourself as possible, notice where your heart is open and accepting, and where it seems closed in order to protect itself. The meditation begins by recalling with gratitude our family of origin, our parents and grandparents. We ask for their guidance and support.
In gratitude, I bow to all generations of ancestors in my blood family. I see my mother and father, whose blood, flesh, and vitality are circulating in my own veins and nourishing every cell in my body. Through them, I see my 4 grandparents. Their experiences, expectations, and wisdom have been transmitted from so many generations of ancestors. I carry in me the life, blood, experience, wisdom, happiness, and sorrow of all generations. I am practicing to transform the suffering and all the elements that need to be transformed. I open my heart, flesh, and bones to receive the energy of insight, love, and experience transmitted to me by all my ancestors. I see my roots in my father, my mother, my grandfathers, my grandmothers, and all of my ancestors. I know that I am only the continuation of this ancestral lineage. I know wherever children and grandchildren are, ancestors are there also. I know that parents love and support their children and grandchildren, although they are not always able to express it skillfully because of difficulties they themselves encountered. I see that my ancestors try to build a way of life based on gratitude, joy, confidence, respect, and loving kindness. As a continuation of my ancestors, I bow deeply and allow their energy to flow through me. I ask my ancestors for their support, their protection, and their strength. In gratitude, I bow to all generations of ancestors in my spiritual family.
I see myself in my teachers, the ones who show me the way of love and understanding, the way to breathe, smile, forgive, and live deeply in the present moment. I see through my teachers, all teachers, over many generations and traditions, going back to the ones who began my spiritual family thousands of years ago. I see the Buddha, or Christ, or Mother Teresa, the Dalai Lama, Thich Nhat Hanh, Joe Gooding, and my friends on the path as my teachers, and also as my spiritual ancestors. I see that their energy and that of many generations of teachers has entered me and is creating peace, joy, understanding, and loving kindness in me. I know that the energy of these teachers has deeply transformed the world. I open my heart and my body to receive the energy of understanding, loving kindness, and protection from the awakened ones, their teachings, and the community of practice over many generations. I am their continuation. I ask these spiritual ancestors to transmit to me their source of energy, peace, stability, understanding, and love. I vow to practice to transform the suffering in myself and in the world, and to transmit their energy to future generations of practitioners. My spiritual ancestors may have had their own difficulties and not always been able to live the teachings, but I accept them as they are.
In gratitude, I bow to this land and to all of the ancestors who have been here and whose efforts have made my life easy and possible. I see all those known and unknown who have made this country a refuge for so many people of so many origins and colors. Those who have worked hard to build hospitals, schools, bridges, and roads, to protect human rights, to develop science and technology, and to fight for freedom and social justice through their talent, perseverance, and love. In gratitude, I bow to this land and to my indigenous ancestors. I touch my indigenous ancestors who have lived on this land for such a long time and known the ways to live in peace and harmony with nature, protecting the mountains, forest, animals, plants, and minerals. I am in touch with the profound suffering of my indigenous ancestors: genocide, displacement, internalized racism, uprooting from culture, land, and language. I release this suffering to the earth and ask the earth to help me transform it into wisdom and compassion. I aspire to preserve, nourish, and pass on their wisdom, art, gentleness, humor, and compassion, courage, dignity, and resistance in the face of dehumanization, along with a tradition of cooperation and selfless service to the community. I see Black Elk, Geronimo, Crazy Horse, Sacagawea, Chief Joseph, Leonard Peltier, Sharice Davids, Joy Harjo, Deb Holland, and all others known and unknown. I honor them and am grateful to them.
In gratitude, I bow to my European American ancestors. I touch my European American ancestors who came to this land to find freedom from political and religious oppression and poverty, and who came to seek opportunity for wealth and abundance, who came seeking a new vision of society and humanity. However, I am also in touch with the great suffering caused by those European American ancestors who believed in European cultural superiority that led to the decimation of the indigenous peoples, the horrors of slavery, and the exclusion of people of colors from mainstream society, which continues to cause division and hatred today. I am also aware of the many European American ancestors who lost their fortunes and their lives in resistance to injustice and the oppression of peoples of color. I pour this suffering on the earth and ask the earth to help me transform it into wisdom and compassion. I aspire to preserve, nourish, and pass on their courage in coming to an unknown land, their strong faith and commitment to freedom and democracy, perseverance, respect for the arts, and ingenuity. I see Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, Susan B. Anthony, Abraham Lincoln, Jane Addams, Henry David Thoreau, Eleanor Roosevelt, Dorothy Day, Albert Einstein, Betty White, and all others known and unknown. I honor them and feel grateful to them.
In gratitude, I bow to my African American ancestors. I touch my African American ancestors who were enslaved and brought to this land, pouring their blood, sweat, and tears on this land, whose unrewarded labor helped make this country an economic world power. I am in touch with the crippling violence and inhumanity that my African American ancestors faced every day, the loss of their land, language, culture, family, and freedom. Yet I am in touch with how they also found ways to resist, to subvert oppression, to maintain their humanity through soulful singing, prayer, humor, political struggle, a strong commitment to education and economic empowerment. I aspire to preserve, nourish, and pass on their strength, patience, perseverance, love, forgiveness, humility, humor, creativity, and innovation in rhythm, music, dance, art, sports, oratory, science, literature, and community spirit. I see Sojourner Truth, Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, George Washington Carver, W.E.B. Du Bois, Langston Hughes, Maya Angelou, Patrick Mahomes, Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Sidney Poitier, and all others known and unknown. I honor them and feel grateful to them.
In gratitude, I bow to my Latino and Latina ancestors. I touch my Latino and Latina ancestors of this land, children of the indigenous peoples of the Americas and the Spanish colonizers, those who for centuries lived on and built up roughly half of the present-day United States, and those who immigrated from Central and South America more recently. I am in touch with the suffering of my Latino and Latina ancestors due to war, racist policies, as well as loss of land and culture. I acknowledge our nation's current difficulties with issues of immigration and inclusion. I am aware that my life is richer because of their contributions as farm laborers, skilled artisans, teachers, politicians, architects, and activists. I aspire to preserve, nourish, and pass on their creativity, strength, patience, love, forgiveness, diligent work ethic, and dedication to family, strong faith, perseverance, and humility. I see Cesar Chavez, Dolores Huerta, Roberto Clemente, Oscar de la Renta, Sonia Sotomayor, Lin-Manuel Miranda, Julia Alvarez, Ellen Ochoa, Jose Faust, and all others known and unknown. I honor them and feel grateful to them.
In gratitude, I bow to my Asian American ancestors. I touch my Asian American ancestors of this land, those who came from the world's largest continent and an extremely diverse cultural heritage, including Russia, the Middle East, the Indian subcontinent, East Asia, and the Pacific Islands. Their labor built the western half of the Transcontinental Railroad and transformed the western deserts into fertile farmland. I am in touch with the suffering of my Asian American ancestors, bore gracefully, including the internment camps for Japanese Americans during World War II, and the horrors of the wars in Korea, Vietnam, and the Middle East. I aspire to preserve, nourish, and pass on their commitment to family and community, respect for hard work and education, perseverance and preservation of cultural history and language. I see Bruce Lee, Norah Jones, Maya Lin, Ang Lee, Yo-Yo Ma, Michelle Wu, George Takei, and all others known and unknown. I honor them and feel grateful to them.
In gratitude, I bow to all Americans who have worked to promote civil rights and oppose oppression. Those who fought for the right to vote, the right to marry, the right to work, and all those who have spoken out against injustice in the courts, corporate boardrooms, in our neighborhoods, playgrounds, and homes. I am in touch with the suffering of those who have been judged as different and inadequate. I aspire to notice my own capacity to view others as inferior and to become mindful when I judge people because of their politics, age, race, gender, sexual orientation or identity, disability, religion, vocation, or lifestyle. I will practice to develop my understanding and compassion.
I feel the energy of this land and all of my ancestors from all different cultures and colors, penetrating my body and soul, supporting and accepting me. I vow to cultivate and maintain this energy and awareness, and to transmit it to future generations. I vow to contribute my part in transforming the violence, hatred, and delusion that still lie deep in the collective consciousness of this society, so that future generations will have more safety, joy, and peace. I ask this land for its protection and support.
So let's take a moment to just embody the teachings, to feel the oneness of this beautiful meditation practice called touching the earth. And if necessary, you may stretch or move or take a conscious breath as we transition into loving kindness practice or metta practice. And so, as you take a conscious breath and you exhale, I invite you at this time to bring to mind the image of you, a full body image of the form that has been given your name, that has accrued the many experiences over the years. And holding this image in your mind's eye, let us open our hearts as we recite silently to ourselves these words of loving kindness or metta practice. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be safe from inner and outer dangers. May I be well in body and mind. And may I be at ease and happy. Conscious breath. And as you release, I invite you now to bring to mind the image of a friend of yours. Holding this image in your mind's eye, let us open our hearts as we send metta practice. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be safe from inner and outer dangers. May you be well in body and mind. And may you be at ease and happy. Conscious breath. And as you release that sentiment into the universe, I invite you now to bring to mind the image of an acquaintance. Could be somebody that you've met recently, or a classmate, a passerby, or a clerk or cashier. And holding this image in your mind's eye, let us open our hearts as we send metta. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be safe from inner and outer dangers. May you be well in body and mind. And may you be at ease and happy. Conscious breath. And as you release that sentiment into the universe, I invite you now to bring to mind the image of a difficult person in your life, a challenging person. Could be a boss or a coworker, a neighbor, a classmate, or a political figure. And holding this image in your mind's eye, let us send to them metta. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be safe from inner and outer dangers. May you be well in body and mind. And may you be at ease and happy. Conscious breath. And as you release that sentiment into the universe, I invite you now to bring to mind the image of the world, all the plants and flowers and trees, animals of the land, the sea, the sky, and all sentient beings. Holding this image in our mind's eye, let us open our hearts as we send metta to all. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be safe from inner and outer dangers. May we be well in body and mind. And may we be at ease and happy. Conscious breath. Releasing that sentiment into the universe. And now, in the true spirit of dana, the Buddhist practice of generosity, temple services here are given freely. In the same way, if you choose to give, please give with a generous heart, which means not in return for anything that you have received today, but rather so that those who may be seeking refuge may find it here, in this temple, with these teachings, with these teachers, and with this Sangha, and with some of our cool equipment. Thank you all so much to our wonderful ambassadors, all of those folks who have committed to regular monthly electronic giving. It's not about the amount, it's that the regular monthly giving helps us to set a budget here at Temple Buddhist Center. If you'd like to become an ambassador, you can stop by our website, templebuddhistcenter.com, and just click on the Love Offering button, or you can also text Unity Temple to 77977. Also, the dana boxes are located at the back of the meditation hall. We also take a moment of gratitude for all of our amazing volunteers. So many folks working behind the scenes to help Temple Buddhist Center nurture its community and provide spiritual enrichment on so many levels and in so many formats these days. Thank you so much to Rochelle for your wonderful music and the fresh eggs that you bring from your chickens. Thank you so much to Mindful Heart Sangha and everything that Teresa, you and your community do to help to support Temple Buddhist Center's larger Sangha, both near and far. We are truly blessed to have you all as a part of our community. If you'd like to know more about the Mindful Heart Meditation Group that meets on Wednesday evenings, again, just stop by our Facebook page or our website, or you can come and talk to Teresa at some point, maybe. I don't know. We're keeping social distancing, but you can talk to her from afar. And thank you so much to each and every one of you for your presence, your heart, your practice, and everything that you do to bring fullness and wholeness to our community. Thank you so much. And so as we and don't forget our folks at home. Everybody near and far, it's our virtual Sangha. And so as we prepare now to formally end our time together with the Bodhicitta dedication, we will recite this out loud, and then we will formally end our time together with the sounding of the bell. And so our dedication together. May the pure, brilliant sun of Bodhicitta dawn in each and every heart and mind, dispelling the darkness of suffering and confusion unstoppably until all are illumined and awakened. And with the palms of our hands together in front of our hearts, as we go forth now from this place, may we enter each moment in innocence, guided by the wisdom of our hearts. And as we open our hands, open our eyes, shine our light into the world. Namaste. Thank you all so much. I have a couple just brief announcements. Some big things are coming up. The Wake Up Sangha here at Temple Buddhist Center is sponsoring a group to attend the I Have a Dream Action and Celebration event, which is happening tonight at 6:15 at Village Church in Prairie Village. These flyers are out on the reception desk right outside the meditation hall. And so I don't know that they're gathering here and driving over. We're just kind of all meeting over there. So if you can this evening, that would be wonderful. Also, don't forget our post-service discussion group right down the hall to the left. It is also virtual, and you can find that link by going to our Facebook page or our website. And then also, our Helping Hands community has, well, we've been blessed with a lot of folks giving and helping. So we have actually like too many of our Helping Hands bags. So we've started giving them away so they will be on the table as you exit the meditation hall today. And the Helping Hands bags are just bags that you can keep in your car so that when you encounter on your travels around the city a person experiencing homelessness, this is something that you can hand to them. It is filled with essentials, socks and gloves, tissues, water, granola bars, things like that. And so it's a good thing to have. It's a good problem to have, right? We've got too many. It's normally on our first Sundays, but there will be some out there today for you to take part in. So please, as you exit, take one of those bags with you. Our Basics of Buddhism class is starting up again. Yay! Kyle's class is very popular. It always sells out. He does cap it at 15 in order to keep the ability to answer questions and to share with each other workable. So there are still 11 spots left, so you can get signed up. That class begins February 10th. Also, every second Sunday, we're featuring Meditation 101. And it is for both experienced as well as brand new practitioners. It's just an opportunity to talk specifically about issues that we are encountering in our formal sitting practice. So that is every second Sunday at 1 p.m. And then don't forget the Buddha and the Bean every Tuesday morning at 9, a beautiful Sangha that meets over coffee for 30 minutes on Tuesday mornings to talk about the practice. And then also, as always, our Buddhism and 12-step programs. We have one on Sundays at 12:30, and then Dave leads the Thursday night group at 7. And then we do have a special event coming, and the flyers are out on the counter, which is called Give Back Yoga on January 23rd at 10 a.m. So right after the morning service, you can run downstairs and participate in this. This is a national event. It's being live streamed in and head up by our own Yoga for 12-Step Recovery group here. Anybody can come. You don't have to be in recovery. And the $10 donation goes to purchase yoga mats for halfway homes, shelters, prisons, and all kinds of different communities that might have difficulty in acquiring yoga supplies. So I think that was just about everything, believe it or not. Thank you all again so much for everything that you do for Temple Buddhist Center. And so I wish you peace, blessings, and go Chiefs.